If you think gun owners follow horoscopes, think again. We follow brands. Your gun brand says more about you than your haircut, your energy drink, or your last 5 Google searches. It's a blend of your personality, your bank account, and how many unfinished builds are stacking up in your closet. Glock. If you carry a Glock, let's be honest, you're basically a walking billboard for gun mods. You've likely said Glock perfection more times than you've actually cleaned your pistol. Stock parts? They barely exist in your vocabulary. Your Glock isn't just a firearm. It's a custom build project you've meticulously curated over time. Matched triggers, precision-cut optic slides, and painstakingly stippled grips. Your Glock has undergone more transformations than a celebrity's Instagram feed. Remember when the Glock 19 was the unquestioned champion of concealed carry? It was the Toyota Camry of guns. Reliable, ubiquitous, and a bit bland. Flashback to 1988, polymer frames were groundbreaking, and Glock introduced the Glock 19 as the compact companion to the full-size Glock 17. With just 34 components, fewer parts meant fewer failures. Glock quickly became synonymous with unmatched reliability. But here's the twist. It's not 2005 anymore. Guns evolve faster than smartphone models these days. Firearms like the Springfield Hellcat Pro and Sig Sauer P365 have entered the scene with compact designs and higher capacities, challenging Glock's dominance. Even Glock itself has new contenders, like the Glock 43X, packing a punch in a smaller frame. Sure, your Glock is legendary in its dependability. It survived more torture tests than an action movie hero. Mud, sand, snow, and everything in between. Drop it from a helicopter, it'll probably still shoot straight. But let's be real, most modern handguns from reputable brands are catching up in terms of reliability. The gap Glock enjoyed for decades is now narrowing quickly. And yet, there's one place Glock still reigns supreme: the aftermarket. Your Glock is essentially the Lego set of firearms. Want a Gucci Glock that's as much art as a weapon? No problem. Want to turn it into an unrecognizable masterpiece? The options are endless. Sig Sauer. If you're a Sig Sauer owner, you're not just another face in the crowd. You're part of a club that values refinement as much as reliability. You don't just want a gun that goes bang, you want one that does it with a little extra flair. Carrying Sig is like driving a luxury sedan to the gun range. Sure, you'll get there, but you're going to look good doing it. Let's talk aesthetics. Even Glock fanatics have to admit, Sig just looks better. Those premium finishes, rounded edges, and detailed grips make a Sig stand out, while a Glock looks like it's auditioning for the role of best supporting brick. When you lay a Sig on the table, you're making a statement. You're not just about function, you're about form. Now, ergonomics. Here's where things get interesting. Glock wins big points for being lightweight thanks to all that polymer, but Sig's slightly heavier build feels right in the hand. The extra bit of weight isn't just for show, it adds to the balance, soaking up recoil and making every shot smoother. And those grips? Sig gives you options. Rubber, plastic, even wood. Swap them out until it feels like it was made for you. Bigger hands? No problem. Sig grips just get it. Durability? Sure, Glock's polymer will last, but metal is still king for the long haul. You want something to pass down? Sig's your heirloom. This is a gun that'll outlive your taste in music and probably your grandkids too. But let's talk sights. Right out of the box, Sig sets the bar high with its X-Series models coming standard with Sig-like night sights. Real working night sights, not just plastic placeholders. You can hit targets when the lights go out and your Glock buddy's still squinting down his U-notch. Triggers? This is where Sig truly flexes. You've got the choice, striker fired or hammer fired. The EDSA system means that after that first pull, the rest are butter smooth. Fast follow-ups, crisp resets. Sure, some folks prefer Glock's striker-fired simplicity, but for shooters who grew up with Beretta, or just like a little more feedback, Sig wins. Accuracy? Honestly, any decent shooter can put rounds on target with either, but the heavier, well-balanced Sig absorbs more recoil, making those last shots in a mag dump just a bit more on point. In a match, that can mean the difference between a podium and a participation ribbon. Ruger. You bought Ruger for old-school reliability, not flash. That GP100 doubles as a gem weight. The LCP, it vanishes in your pocket and stays there. Your 1022, probably antique, still outgroups your buddy's tricked-out AR, and you never tire of saying, "Told you so." Ruger guns just work. No fixes needed, no hype required. Tactical nonsense doesn't float your boat. You crank off mags with plain iron sights and a grip that feels like breaking in a sturdy boot. Taurus. You carry Taurus for the adventure. It started with a rebate and maybe some gift cards, and now you're basically a warranty administrator. You've read every forum thread on your model and convinced yourself you fixed its quirks through troubleshooting and RMAing. Each time it goes bang, you cheer like you've conquered Everest. Budget doesn't mean bad is your motto. You believe your pistol could outlive an apocalypse if you keep being nice to it. Smith & Wesson, S&W. You own a Smith & Wesson and you make it look easy. One YouTube tutorial and you're convinced you're a Glock killer. Carry a matte black M&P shield and you'll flash a laminated CCW card while dropping EDC and operator into casual conversation. Your stainless 686? It's so pristine you'd swear it was an heirloom. Cleaning it's practically a meditation session. Shoot an M&P 15? You'll happily argue all day that modern sporting rifle isn't just a fancy name for an AR. Love saying S&W is about simple function, even though you're all about style. High Point. If you carry High Point, you like your budget adrenaline. It's an absolute unit, heavy as a wrecking ball with a fortress of a safety lever. This assembly's basically self-surgery and it looks like it was sketched in MS Paint. Sometimes it jams, but you grin and proclaim, trust me, it shoots. That ugly but it works t-shirt? Yeah, that was your idea. Palmetto State Army, PSA. You don't just buy guns from PSA, you prototype them. One click on their website for a look and suddenly your parts count looks like a gun store inventory. Your weekends are spent polishing buffer springs and debating gas block alignments as if it's philosophy. It's mil-spec, you say proudly, like a magic spell to banish malfunctions. You probably don't even shoot much. Your real fun is in building, tweaking, and showing off your latest Franken gun. Charter Arms. Charter Arms owners get the wheel gun life on a budget. You wanted a snub-nosed revolver, but ended up with the cheapest model on the rack. Every trigger pull is a gamble. Will it fire smoothly or lock up mid-rotation? You call it character. Miss a round? You shrug and say, well, that's just quirky. Deep down, you appreciate your little budget revolver for keeping you on your toes. It won't win any beauty contests, but you admire its stubborn loyalty. KelTec. KelTec owners don't shy from unconventional. Your sub 2000 folds into your pack next to your existential dread, and that P3AT, it looks 3D printed in a basement. The KSG shotgun on your back has more parts than Rube Goldberg's workshop. Every mag dump is a gamble, but you call it innovative. Everyone else sees quirk, you see genius. KelTec carry means yes, this is crazy, and yes, I love it. Remington. You carry Remington for nostalgia and hope. You remember when the 870 and 700 were legends. Now quality controls a punchline, but you still treat your old rifle like a family heirloom, whispering, they don't make them like this anymore. You watch every new release with wary eyes, hoping for a comeback. Deep down you're loyal, or maybe just emotionally invested. Love comes with a side of heartache. Heckler & Koch, HK. Carrying HK means you have taste and a high tolerance for price tags. You dropped serious cash on a VP9 or P30 and everything runs like a dream. But HK definitely doesn't need your love in return. You wear Oakley's indoors and nerd out over slide tolerances. That spare mag costs you $70. Worth it? HK owners live for precision and bragging rights, even if customer service moves at a glacial pace. If you've made it this far, drop your brand in the comments so we can gently or not so gently roast it too. Remember to like and subscribe. Beretta. Carry Beretta and you're carrying history. Each slide lock feels like an Italian symphony. Your 92 FS is half machine, half art piece, and you defend its open-top slide design to anyone. You set it on the table slide up like it's the Mona Lisa. At the range, you shoot like you're starring in a spaghetti western. You don't just aim, you perform. It isn't a chore, it's a love letter to Italy. CZ. CZ owners drank the hipster Kool-Aid. You didn't want mainstream, so you got a shadow and then Frankensteined it. Each custom part and fiber optic is essential, even though your $600 pistol is now a $1,200 build. You post pics of your slide and get roasted on forums, but it only makes you more loyal. Dry firing at home is part of your routine, and you call it the CZ Nation lifestyle, with Czech beer on tap and a wallet crying in pain. Colt. Carry Colt, likely a 1911, and you're in the tradition club. Your holster's handcrafted leather, your gun all steel, and you treat it like a sacred relic. You say things like 45 ACP's the devil's caliber without missing a beat. You oil it daily, shun polymer firearms, and shoot with a tongue-out grimace. Jams? That's character. Slide bite? A covenant. Your YouTube history's a shrine to John Browning and World War II guns. Springfield Armory. You saw Springfield Armory's We the People ad and felt patriotic until you saw Made in Croatia on the box. That Hellcat in your pocket felt like a founding father's heirloom, but the trigger feels more like wet spaghetti. You spend evenings defending it online, promising it'll break in soon. Deep down, you trust your old XD more, but you keep the Hellcat holstered with pride. You're not a traitor, you're just patriotic with questions. All right, there you have it. The Gun Brand Roast. Your choice isn't just something you carry, it's a self-portrait. Some of you are built for legacy, some for laughter, and some for let's see what happens.